Yeah, there is something that happens with them is they develop a sense and a technique of working in this place, which is not foreseen before. It's not easy. I mean, it's not something that none of them have done before. So there's a lot of things unknown, and this is great to see how they make it. They get used to how people come in, how to address them, what to do when it's kids, when it's family. When not that they make like categories, but it's they have to deal with all these differences, and you can see that they develop certain abilities that if we start, we start from zero, and they over the 2 months you can see this is very nice to see. Also, another thing that I notice is that although it's very individual work, like they do their thing, and then it's always one, but the whole work is like a machine a little bit. So, or a game, they play very much with each other. It's like if they became a sort of a team, like it's teamwork, and this is very. Sometimes you see tension also. Like they are not happy because they didn't do what they think, but it is great, all great. Like it's very much a team, so that they, and if there is this, it's because they work for something else, and this is very also, I think, working. They don't work for me, they work for this something else, like this game, being there, doing this, addressing the visitor, listening to them. Reacting, being sometimes like, oh, these people, or sometimes like totally fascinated by the kind of encounter because there's all kind of people coming here. This is very good. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Consciously, maybe not. But I think I was talking now with one of them, who was in the questioning of. He doesn't know if he wants to dance anymore. It doesn't really make totally sense like it was before. Not because of the work here. And I was saying, but because he's working for another piece at the moment with a choreographer. And I was asking, but is it the same here? He said, no, because of course we have this possibility to discuss. So, of course, I'm dancing, but it's not only that I do this movement, and this is what he has problem with, like the sense or the meaning of this. That he said, I know I can do it, but and he was referring to the work here where this possibility of including the discourse or the speaking, and that's transformed. So I guess this can have repercussions in their practice. Also, maybe not directly in the work that they will do, like the piece, but I think how they will work, I'm sure it will affect. I don't know how, but I can sense also they are happy in general. They have said there was a moment, like last week I think, or the week before, where the repetitivity of the thing is like a bit difficult. Even if it's never the same, there is nevertheless the thing. You come at 10 here, or you come every day, almost every day, and you do this for 4 hours now. So it's like a work. Even if it has many different parameters, it is interesting to hear. Although I have also tried to give them this different kind of activity, so that the day is not only. Like I do this, like at the working line. Yeah. But it's because it's this duration and it's like time is the convention of there is something that repeats. So it's after a while they got a little bit, But they say now, from what I can hear, it's different rhythm also. It's not all of them, and it's different. And now it starts to be again interesting. It's a rhythm. No, well, for their personal thing that they develop, there is a set of proposal that so they use the works we have, these solos. They use their life, and they do this retrospective of my solo works through their life, with the if possible starting at one time, and if possible being chronological. They can play, but then what they choose is free. What they say is free, but we have discussed during the rehearsal to take direction, but this is changing. This day, and then I see, for example, I see some dance and say, this is really strange. So I have to listen what they say about it. Sometimes the dance, the way it's done fits what they say, but sometimes there is something the dance should be more precise than it is done. So I work then with them, or I listen when they do, and then I give feedback to them in the way they address, like what kind of. It's continuously working. I feedback as much as I can, because I think it would have been better to have more time for this. The conditions are like this, and I have learned also something, but this is very delicate. This personal exchange, the kind of word you use, how much it is very anecdotal sometimes, and I think anecdotes are good in the way that they offer the visitor something that is common to everybody. Everybody has an anecdote, so you can relate. But sometimes it's the amount of anecdote makes the whole thing anecdotal, because the putting together with is like, it's this. That's what I understand now, and they could have done this with any kind of work. So in some of them now I can see that it missed a point of view more critical or more specific, or that takes maybe more risk. But each of them have developed. So sometimes I could push a bit this, like question and say but what do you mean by this exactly, or is this really this you want to say? Because it's not easy also to they do it themselves. Of course, I'm listening and I dialogue, but the principle is they use this thing, and I help, but I cannot do it, because it's the sense of the thing is that it should be their desires and their point of view. I cannot say, but you should do it. You should see the thing like this. So it's this limit, which is, I think, interesting from also the feedback I hear of people taking the time to see severals. That's then these differences, this of point of view, even if they are maybe anecdotal. So you have one like this, one like that, one like. So that produces another level of reading of what the work can do. So it's not. None of them is able to represent all of them. And I guess if you go through the exhibition and so let's say you come in and then you engage with one, and you have this story, and you continue and you go downstairs. So of course this visit, it's so totally valid, but it's a not totally other meaning that you can get if you see two or if you see three. But this is great for me to observe the plasticity of also the work is it's not at all interactive, because many people think it's an interactive work. No, it's not interactive, but it transforms with the visitors. it's different if you have one single person in a family, and the space is totally different, and the work is different if you have a group of adolescents from Italy and 3 persons who are here since 2 hours because they are, and you see all this, but all this somehow act on. So it's not that the work is whatever, but the work. This is very interesting to observe. The work is always there, like the production of it, what it tries to do, but it's always also transformed by who is there. And that's